You've heard of the Thrilla in Manila when Muhammad Ali introduced the rope-a-dope. Well, last night we had the Thrilla in the Hofstra, and you guessed who was the dope. Don't go away. I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump let her punch him to wear her out. I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance.
Those who forsake the law praise the wicked. Those who uphold the law resist them. Welcome to the Voice of Resistance. Here's your host, Randall Terry.
This particular segment goes out to all of the pundits and the commentators who haven't yet figured out what happened at the debate. It's called the rope-a-dope. And before I explain any more on how that strategy was used by Donald Trump and is in fact causing Hillary to wear out, let's let Muhammad Ali explain it for himself with the immortal Howard Cosell, two immortal sports figures, and then we'll watch the clips back to back. Just think, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton.
I plan to fight my new style, Howard. I will announce here now the new style about laying in the rope sometime and let my man punch himself out. It is called the rope-a-dope.
The rope-a-dope.
Rope-a-dope.
Who does the word dope honor?
It honors whoever chases me in the rope.
All right, that's the very point. What if Randall doesn't pursue you into the ropes? What if he backs off?
If he don't, then I'll just go into my defensive style, Howard, and move in and force him to punch. Watch this thing careful tonight. You will notice how I'll completely wear this man down. Watch careful. You'll notice how when the bell rang, I'll walk right out and take his shots. I'll force him. I offer him a deal. He can't refuse. And after throwing 4 or 5 rounds of this, Howard, you're finished. He's got 15 to go. Notice when I go to the ropes, you'll see me cover up, blocking the vulnerable parts, blocking the chin. I don't want no amateurs out there to try this because it's awful dangerous. You have to have fast reflexes. It takes 21 years experience to get away with this. But you will see me tonight literally take this man. He may win 2 or 3 rounds for the first 5, but after 5 rounds, this man will, Howard, he'll just be completely exhausted.
There you have it. Now stop and think. Last night, the Republicans who were pro-Trump were saying, why didn't he hit back? Why didn't he strike harder? She came out just swinging away. I was watching it and I turned to my wife and I said, rope-a-dope. This is rope-a-dope. He is letting her wear herself out, give her best shots, just like Ali said he was going to do, and he did with George Foreman. Now, think about this with me. Where could he have just lunged at her but didn't? He could have gone after her emails. The fact that it put us in jeopardy as a nation because there were breaches. We know that her emails have been hacked, but he didn't go there. Yes, he talked about some of her staff taking the fifth, but it was just little jabs. He could have gone after her taking money from the Saudi Arabian government, one of the most misogynist governments in the world. But he didn't. When Hillary came out at the end with her tawdry comments, Donald Trump took the high road. And because Bill Clinton and Chelsea Clinton were there in the room, he didn't say anything. And in the interviews afterwards, he didn't say anything. He didn't say what everyone was thinking and what everyone thought he would say. Now, I want you to think about this with me. She went after him as a racist. She went after him as someone who's a tax cheat, who's not paying his fair share of taxes. She went after him as somebody who stiffs people that do business with him. She went after him with somebody who doesn't have the temperament to be in charge of the nuclear codes. She went after him as a misogynist. She was giving the biggest body punches that she possibly could, and Trump, like Ali, was just there on the ropes, taking it. Just taking it. Just taking it. And guess what? She gave all her best shots. Do you understand? Sure, she can try and expand on them in the next 2 debates. She can try and expand on them on the road. But just like Foreman and Ali, she's throwing the punches and she's wearing out. She's tiring out physically, literally, and politically. And what does Trump still have? His strength. he has the ability to give it to her in the 8th round. Now, to just change the analogy a little bit, there are 3 debates. And which is the most important debate? The last debate, because that's the one that will be the freshest on people's minds. So, yes, there were some rounds where George Foreman was pummeling Muhammad Ali, just like Ali promised. Ali promised that he was going to draw Foreman out and let Foreman wear himself out. And at the end, Ali had the opening and he had the strength, and Foreman didn't. And it was Foreman who was lying on the mat, and Ali as the champion of the world. Take this to the bank, friend. What you witnessed at the Hofstra debate was rope-a-dope, and it's just a matter of time. And Hillary is going to be the one on the mat, politically speaking, and Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States.
Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. It's a combination.
Those of you who are regular viewers of the program know that for quite some time, 8 or 9 months now, I have been saying that Trump would win the Republican nomination and that he would win the presidency. People have told me that I'm out of my mind. Today, I had a Hollywood producer call me up and say, hey, did you see the debate? Wasn't that crazy? There's no way Trump's going to win, blah, blah, blah. I said, he's going to win. Look at what's happening in the swing states. Now, one of the things that I thought was incredibly fascinating was that after the debate, when everyone threw open the doors for online polling, which is not scientific, they haven't figured out a way to make it really scientific. They will, believe me, they will. But what we saw was that, according to CNN, Hillary cleaned his clock. But according to Drudge, Trump won by over 60%. So you figured that. What startled me was that Trump won with Time magazine. Trump won with CNBC. The NBC crowd, the MSNBC crowd, the NBC crowd, they hate Clinton. They hate Trump. So the fact that Trump prevailed in those polls, and interestingly, I believe it was the Denver Post that also put up a poll, they were neck and neck. I think that Hillary, the last time I checked, Hillary was up by about 0.5%. So, as I said a couple days ago, this election could come down to Colorado. And right now, Trump is on the gain. Now, please, please, please step back and think of the impact of those polling numbers. Time magazine and CNBC. I'm content to do a tit for tat and to take Drudge and set it over here as a maniacal Trump supporter and CNN over here as the Clinton News Network, the maniacal Clinton supporter. I get that. And I'm okay with it. But when Time and when CNBC throw open the doors and then the people watching the debate say that Trump won, that spells disaster for Hillary Clinton. Doesn't matter what the pundits are saying on the major networks or on the cable networks. It doesn't matter. Most of them still have not figured out what is going on. One of the reasons that I was so accurate in my predictions with who was going to win which primaries, predicting them, you can go to the website and see for yourself, is because I am a political activist. I'm not simply a commentator who sits here. I ran for the U.S. House. I ran for the state Senate in Florida. I ran against Obama in a few states in a primary just to tweak him. I've been on the ground in fierce political battles, all right? Raised millions of dollars. And I know what is going on with the voters' minds. The New York, D.C. corridor, those people are so enamored with their own beauty and intelligence and the little sound bites and the little things that are fed to them that they actually believe their own rhetoric. Many of them really do. But they haven't got a clue. So I'm going to spell it out for you, okay? Number one, this is not in order of importance. Number one, we despise you. We despise you. Not only do we not trust you, we despise you, media people. Number two, those of us who are independents and Republicans, we despise the Republican machinery. You would expect that we despise the Democrat machinery, but many of us have at least a modicum of respect for the Democratic Party, because they'll say to you, I'm going to stab you in the chest, and then they do it. The Republicans say to us, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then when we turn our back, they stab us in the back. And we've had it. We don't care what John Boehner says. We don't care what Mitch McConnell says. We don't care what Speaker Paul Ryan says. We don't care, because we loathe you, okay? Because you have betrayed us. You have raised money on our issues. You have gotten votes on our issues. You have gotten volunteer man hours on our issues. And then again and again, you have betrayed us, whether it's the babies, the Second Amendment, the debt, trade with China, ISIS, dealing with immigrants for the southern border, and potential Muslim terrorists pouring in. You've betrayed us. You've done nothing but betray us. And so these commentators who are in the pocket of the Democrat machinery and in the pocket of the Republican machinery, they just don't get it. They're out of touch with the people who are actually going to walk in to the voting booth and pull a lever or fill out a ballot or punch a button on a computer. And they don't understand how come we keep giving money to Donald Trump. Honey, get the checkbook out. We've got to send money to Donald Trump. It's time, baby. Friend, this program is supported by friends like you who believe in what we are doing. We run a very tight ship. Thankfully, we are on over 130 stations across the country, having tremendous impact. We get emails every day. We get letters in the mail, not every day, but almost every day. We hear from people who love what we're doing. What people don't understand is that it's sort of expensive to produce a television show like this. It doesn't require earth-shattering funds, but it does require financial help. So I am asking you, if you enjoy this program, throw us a $10 or a $20 bill every once in a while, or even a $50 or a $100 check. You see the address there on the screen. Your gifts are not tax deductible, by the way, because we want to be able to say what we want to say regarding politics without the IRS telling us no. So if you like the program, I ask for your support. I'm going to be honest. I truly want to call balls and strikes. I watched the whole debate, glued to the TV, and I thought, this is a draw. No one drew extensive blood. No one got huge points. I don't care what clips they're playing about, Hillary and saying that Hillary won. I've been watching CNN some today. It doesn't matter, okay? Trump got in some of his own good licks about people taking the fifth, and you've been here for 30 years, what have you done? But all in all, I sat back and I thought, all right, this is a draw. And the tie, goes to the challenger. In baseball, the tie goes to the runner, okay? In this setting, with Hillary Clinton, who has done more presidential debates than Donald Trump, and who has far more experience in this setting, if what I'm hearing is correct, my own memory is correct, this is the first time that there was a one-on-one debate. Did Cruz and Trump debate one time by themselves? I don't remember. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that one. But simple matter is, this was new territory for Trump. And Trump did something that no one thought he would do. He pulled his punches. He did not try and lay her out. If he had, today we would be reading that Trump showed he doesn't have the right temperament. Trump showed that once again he's a bully. We probably would be hearing even more because he beat up on a woman politically that he is in fact a misogynist. And women need to unite around Hillary. And can you believe that he said those words with Bill and Chelsea sitting there in the front row? They would be piling on him. And he did something totally unexpected. He didn't try to pummel her. Doesn't mean that he's not going to. Think rope-a-dope. Think Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. Doesn't mean that he's not going to. And the other thing I thought, when he just stood there and let that pitch go by that Hillary gave him at the end about women and Bill and Chelsea and all that, when he let that pitch go by, I thought, he's got surrogates. He has surrogates in the media, in the conservative media, online media, on radio media, that will happily discuss the fact that Hillary helped to attempt to destroy the lives of women who were involved in affairs with her husband. Hillary tried to destroy their lives. So, and in some places created great harm for women. And he let the pitch go by. He instead chose the high road. That caught people off guard. And it won points for Trump. So, in my assessment, I thought it was a good debate. They both made good points, and I'm talking partisan points. I don't believe 99% of what Hillary stands for. But he didn't really delineate the horror of what happened in Benghazi. I mean, he could have said, look, you had people that had your email address. You were answering emails that had to do with money. You were answering political hacks emails. But when the ambassador of Libya was begging for help, you ignored him, and now he's dead. That's your legacy, Hillary. He didn't do that. Could have done it, and he didn't do it. So the tie goes to the challenger in this case. Donald Trump looked presidential. Now, I don't know what the fact is. Before we taped, I tried to find online how much money has come into Donald Trump's campaign today. I heard one radio show this afternoon say that $13 million has come in. I could not verify that, so I won't give the source. I will let you know what I heard. But the point is this, that there are people who watched last night and they liked what they saw. And Hillary, on the other hand, Donald Trump doesn't have a happy face in the debate. If I was advising him, I'd say, at least you can look pensive. He looks pensive, but then sometimes he looks like he's got a scowl. He does that Winston Churchill look. If he could get a little bit more of that Ronald Reagan thing going, that would be a help, because Reagan would smile a lot when he stood up in the debates. Hillary, on the other hand, looked presumptuous, at points pompous and arrogant and condescending, and you fact checkers better be hard at work, and I was home preparing for the debate and to be the president of the United States. Ka-ching! There were parts of her, what she was saying and doing, that did not play well. And again, the tie goes to Trump in this case, as shows the polls at CNBC and at Time Magazine. I'll be right back. I want to invite you to go to our website. Almost every book that I have ever written is available as a PDF online for free. We have a ton of products, training materials, tools that are available for you for free. All we ask for is that you give us your email address. That's it, so that we can stay in touch with you, and yes, from time to time, ask you to support this work. So I'm inviting you, go to the website. Now, for those of you who say, well, I don't want a PDF, I want a real book. You can get one of my books. All you have to do is pay for shipping and handling, and then give whatever gift you want. And if you can't afford anything, we'll send you the book for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Why are we doing all this? Because we want to change the direction of the country, and we need to raise up a fresh generation of warriors to do that. That's why we have this tool. I invite you, go to the website, see for yourself. So I was talking earlier today with my Hollywood producer friend and said, you know, what did you think? And he goes, we can't put that man in the White House. He would be the face of America to the whole world, and you don't want that face. And I said, oh, just stop for a second. What policy, what policy of Donald Trump's do you not agree with, and why? He started yelling again, it's his personality. We don't want his face representing us. We're America, and we don't want that personality. It's bombastic. And I thought, okay. I said, hold on, just stop for a second. There are some of us who don't care so much about personality. We care about principle. We care about policy. All right? So when it comes to the Second Amendment, when it comes to dealing with Mexico and NAFTA and our border, when it comes to dealing with China, when it comes to renegotiating trade deals, when it comes to energy independence and fracking and putting in the Keystone Pipeline and opening up drilling, perhaps even in Anwar, when it comes to these things, and not to mention the Supreme Court and marriage and the brutal murder of babies by abortion, when it comes to these things, Trump has the right policies. He is talking about the right principles. And that is what this election is about for me and for tens of millions of others who are the unredeemable and the deplorables, okay? That's what this is about. Hillary could be the nicest neighbor, bring over cookies. You would trust her to babysit your children. I know I'm reaching here, but really and truly. But when you sat down with her and you were sipping on your tea and she says, we need more abortions. And I got to tell you, I took all this money from the Saudi Arabian government, and I'm not really saying much about the way they abuse women. And I'm going to support NAFTA, even though it caused the collapse of American manufacturing jobs. Remember that giant sucking sound that Ross Perot talked about? Okay? And then the more you talk to her, and you looked at her, and she's sweet, and she's pleasant to listen to, and she's pretty, and then you see grumpy old man over there, Donald Trump, gruff, egotistical, says things that are inappropriate, but his principles are right. He doesn't want to take away your guns. He doesn't want to murder babies. He wants judges on the Supreme Court. I mean, you could do the math, okay? Then you say, I like having her for a neighbor. I love her bringing over cookies, but she is out of her mind, okay? Her policies are insane, unethical. Some of them are literally from the hot place, from hell, okay? Satan licking his chops, rubbing his hands. And but she's so pleasant, and that smile that she did all night. Who cares? At the end of the day, people, this is about governance. This is about policy. It's about principle that drives policy, and it's about the ability to execute those principles into public policy. We call those laws or foreign policy, trade deals. That's what this election is about. It's not about the personalities. Now, in this way, it is like reality TV. Because in reality TV, you watch and you're trying to connect with certain people, trying to get inside their head and their heart, and there's other people that you really don't like, and you kind of get tangled up into who said what, and who was mean, and who was nice, and who was helpful, and who was treacherous. So here we are in a political race where personality does play a factor, but we need to step back. I don't care how well dressed, how well manicured, how polite, and how handsome or how pretty is the body and I don't care how beautiful is the velvet glove that covers the hand that is out to crush righteousness and justice and murder innocent unborn babies and overthrow the Constitution. I don't care.